Good.
My favorite skater came with pizza, man. Gracias, huh?
Thank you.
That's
Maybe we should interview him. I mean, I don't know, man.
Sure, next time.
A little bit more interesting, I think.
Hey, Anthony.
now it's working, you know.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming to the
Yeah,
pizza
thank you.
night. Get pepperoni.
Pepperoni, dude, pepperoni. Con anchoas también.
Thank you.
Margarita.
For me. Okay, guys. Okay, Anthony.
Respect the pizza. Respect.
Respect the plaza, respect
Yeah.
the pizza, huh?
Yo, I'm pretty nervous right now because I just know who you are, and we wait here waiting to do this thing, and I don't know. I'm pretty impressed about what I hear about you.
Okay.
And we have
Okay,
here.
just having some pizza.
It's a lot less interesting than what you think. No, I'm joking.
No, probably it is.
So, what are you doing here in Barcelona? What time I see you over here?
Yeah, so right now I just came from Thailand. Basically, I came to finish a project. So I have like a project that it's like the last 25 years of filming. Like
Your
from-
last 25
yeah,
years.
stuff from 4-in-1, from videos that I filmed for, whether it's like, I don't know, the firm videos, stuff in like Habitat, or just all videos in like 25 years of film. Yeah, so the idea is to have like certain things from the last 25 years, and then having some new stuff to kind of like, kind of compare and contrast. So like. I spent a lot of time filming in Barcelona. There's a lot of footage here, so I wanted to get maybe some new tricks at old spots, or maybe a trick that matches an old trick at a new spot. And it's really an excuse to come to Spain, to Barcelona.
Yeah, but Anthony, how long it's gonna be 25 years of filming?
Dude, I have so much footage. Like
that's crazy.
like so much stuff. The rationale behind it is to have like just like stuff that really means like something to me, or like like a trick that really meant something in skateboarding, and then like condense everything, you know what I mean? Like obviously you can't have like 25 years of filming, but there's certain like kind of important tricks that maybe not even necessarily like amazing tricks that were like like that meant something, but like for me and the skater meant something too. So kind of like less is more.
How many skaters more or less you got over there?
I mean, in that time there's like hundreds, you know what I mean? Like I filmed with hundreds of skaters. Some people like Javi, Rodrigo TX, like Uyghur, some of those kids I've known since they were first got sponsored or first started filming, let's say from then to now. And then some guys that just kind of like came in and out. There's some guys like Stefan Janowski, who might maybe I filmed with him like at the very beginning, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So it's
you're doing
it's a whole
the
bunch
same
of stuff.
thing like here in Barcelona, staying like, I don't know how long you staying, but I feel like months or whatever. Just doing the same thing like maybe in LA, SF,
I mean,
or whatever.
to be honest, Barcelona is kind of like the linchpin, like what's like really bringing everything together. And then I think I'm going to go to Brazil after this. But it's mostly kind of Barcelona is the place that's going to tie everything together. So it's not going to be. I'm not going to spend another 25 years going to all these other places. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I hear that you put Barcelona on the map. That you discovered Macba.
Well, I
hear it and I read about it.
Before the first time I came to Barcelona, Macba was a McDonald's. That's not true. That's not true at all. I mean, I was just like like a skater. I was a filmer. I went to Belgium. Right. This is so if you want to hear the story, like I went to Belgium.
What year
this is like 98 or 99.
99.
Yeah, 98, 99. I went with Joe Brook. He was shooting for Slap. I was shooting for 4-in-1, and we filmed with like a bunch of skaters in Belgium. One of them was Quentin Debris, right? We filmed with. He was like one of the best skaters in Belgium, and then he was like, hey man, we're like, yeah, let's skate like these days, whatever. I'm like, what are you doing like tomorrow, whatever? He's like, oh, I'm moving. And I was like, all right, where are you going? And he's like, I'm moving to Barcelona. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, my uncle lives in Barcelona. I went to visit him, and there's a spot on every corner. It's like amazing. It's like the best city for skateboarding. And then me and Joe Brook, we were in Belgium, and like our plan is like Belgium, Holland, Germany for the contests, go to Paris. That was like our thing. We had like Eurail passes, and then Quentin was like, you have to go to Barcelona. It's like the best city. And then we just looked at each other and we're like, well, I mean, we have Eurail passes. We don't really have anything set, so maybe we should go to Paris, and after Paris we go to Barcelona. And prior to that, like my grandfather was born in Barcelona.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm Filipino, and there's a huge Filipino community here.
Yo,
and
I see your last name.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a Spanish last name.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, this is like the biggest Filipino community.
One of the biggest
in Spain.
outside
In
of the
Spain.
Philippines.
I mean,
Yeah,
Spain
for
for
sure.
sure
Yeah.
is the first.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's crazy. So my last name is Claravall. My mom's last name is Orquiola. Orquiola is like from the Basque Country,
Yeah.
and so like that's
Yeah,
I mean Spain
You
was
guys have a really
well
connection
the
with
Philippines was a
every
colony
way.
was a Spanish
Yeah.
colony for 380 years, right? So there's a lot of Spanish blood, a lot of Spanish names and stuff.
Yeah.
So my grandfather was born in Barcelona, went back to the Philippines, and his whole life he wanted to come back to Barcelona. He never did. So when he passed away in his 80s. It was like kind of like an ideal, a dream, like he was
Yeah,
always like
something-
Barcelona.
some
Yeah,
connection.
I mean he's like his favorite food was arroz a la cubana, like lentejas. You know what I mean? Like he loved everything. He really always wanted to come back to Barcelona. So I never thought about
It's
it.
pretty dope to hear
Yeah.
somebody from New York talking about lentejas.
Yeah, it's like something I mean, obviously, like he grew up here until he was 6, then he left. So his idea was obviously romanticized of what Spain was or whatever. It was his childhood. It was everything. So for me, and then my father would come to Spain like for business and stuff. So I never really. It was always something in our family, but I never thought I would come. You know what I mean? And then we came that summer, like '98 or '99. And it was amazing. We didn't know anything, So it was like me. It was me
One
and
guy from
yeah.
Belgium saying to you,
Yeah,
"Hey,
yeah.
you should come here." So like,
So me and Joe Brook, we had a crew with us, some skaters. Like it was like Rob G. We had I want to say Danny Montoya, a few other skaters, like some dudes we just met in like England. So it was kind of like a loose group of about maybe like 8 people. And we arrived at Sants. We took a train from Paris to Sants. We arrived at Sants. And then we just looked like a hostel, and like they had, a hostel was close to here. We took the train. We got off at Plaza Catalunya. We walked to the hostel. We didn't know anything, I'd seen some Zero footage. So Jamie had been here.
He had the 4 blocks.
He came here. He skated the 4 blocks. He, I know like Sam Rubio, Babli. There was like
Sam Rubio back in the days was skating for Zero.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So there was some skaters that I'd known and I'd seen footage of. Sam Rubio, one of my favorite photographers today, amazing. But the dude was fucking animal, like a really gnarly skater. Yeah, like amazing skateboarder. And so like that was like kind of one of the first people that I knew of in Barcelona. So we just skated, you know what I mean? So we stayed like really close to here at a hostel. We went to Macba. Macba was like just the 4. Like the ledges weren't even grinded. They were too square. You couldn't even. You couldn't. 98. Yeah, 98, 99. Like the scene was really Sants. So like there I met the first time I went to Sants, like Raul Navarro was like, he blew me away. He was like the most amazing skater. Like did the craziest tricks. I was like tripping. I was like, why is this dude not like sponsored like Pro America?
Raul Navarro, yeah. Raul Navarro is from my hometown.
Okay. El Prat. De Llobregat. Okay. So Raul was like my first like favorite Spanish skater. Like I was like amazed. He was insane. But I mean
big up to Raul.
But and now, and then I mean, dude, fucking Julio. I know from those days in Sans Chele. Marco. Just came to Barcelona just to check it out as a filmer with some dudes just to check it out, and that's kind of where it was. It was really like nobody skated Macba, right? There's a crew that skated Sans, only Sans. There was some guys that skated only uni. There was there was amazing skaters like Raul Retamal. So many dudes that were ripping.
You've been talking about like your first trip to Barcelona was kind of unexpected.
Yeah, for sure.
What you talking was amazing about like spots, people.
Yes, I mean, like it was fucked. We didn't know anything, so everything was. When we got to Sans, they had free metro map. Right.
Yeah.
So okay, you go to any subway station or like usually a tourist one. It was a metro. It was like paper map.
Yeah.
So what I did was like, okay, I got the map. I got a couple of them, and then we would just circle like spots. So it's like, okay, we'd be like, we take the train, we take the blue line, we go to the end and we kind of work our way in. So we'd go on the blue line and then we'd go to, I don't know, Villa Piscina and be like, okay, Villa Piscina, there's we found like a mani pad, like downhill. So we put the downhill mani pad, Villa Piscina. And then I would copy the map and then I would I had homies come, I had homies come from Holland and whatever, and they're like, yeah, do you know like spots? I was like, yeah, I gave them a copy of the map, and then that was kind of like in the beginning.
You actually don't have any like.
Yeah, there's no internet. It was like it was crazy.
You have to do it by yourself.
And it was a little bit different too. Raval was fucked. Was super gnarly, like super crazy. There was a really good streak out there. There was good spots, but it was really dangerous. It was really you gotta watch your shit. So it was a little bit of like really different. I mean, Barcelona then to now. I mean, it was the peseta. You know what I mean? It was like nobody spoke English. You know what I mean? I had to learn the little bit of Spanish I learned is so I could eat and just get around. You know what I mean? So.
There was no tourists.
No, there was tourists, but it was like weird. It was like kind of like families. You know what I mean? That kind of tourists, and they stayed in a certain like place. Like people would be like on Las Ramblas, but they would never be in Raval. You know what I mean? Like Macba was kind of like far. Macba was like kind of like far away.
Actually, like back in the days, like when was not like a skate scene at Macba was like pretty sketchy. And then when skaters start coming, one of the first guy was 20, and was like all the like sketchy guys around there was like, yeah, guys, just get out of here. This is our son, like to rope and shit like that. And then they got all those guys, say like I've been talking to the guys at the museum, say like, before skaters was like fucked up.
And then after skaters, it's fucked up.
I mean, it's fucked up, but it was a big contribution to this area. Skateboard scene, everybody knows that. I mean, a good relationship.
I mean, I'll tell you, dude. I'll be like really honest. I mean, Macba is probably the lone surviving like real like like that's still you can you can still go there. I mean, maybe you can skate Jaquan, I guess, in LA, but it's kind of fucked. But I mean, but I mean, Macba is it's amazing. You know what I mean? I tell everyone, all the kids, like I sponsor a lot of kids or like whatever through I work for like a shoe company and everything, but like I always tell these, dude, you have to come to Barcelona. You have to go to Barcelona. You have to
more
skate,
than a skate spot.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
A lot of shit happening over there. It's like I don't know, Arto is just I don't know, it's ground. Just seeing people like amazing, like how big skaters come here, spots. So
big up.
For sure. Okay. So but that was the first trip over here.
That was the first trip.
After that, you moved here, right?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say, it's hard to say, like, so that was like 98 and 99, right? And then so every year, every summer, probably since then, I've spent all of August in Barcelona. So I mean, what I did, so I worked for 4-on-1, right? So to come to Europe, I always film the contests. So there'd be like Dortmund, Munster first, and then Dortmund. So it'd be always like a contest in Germany, and then there was like Praga. There was like maybe one in England or whatever. So my whole deal was every summer I would do that contest circuit, and when it was done, go to Barcelona, right? So it usually ended in like July, and then all of August, probably some of September, I'd be in Barcelona, and then just do other trips, and then. So I never thought like I would live here. I was living here, but I was here always like at the end of the summer. Like always like rent a place. I mean, but I guess if over 20 years,
you feel like in home when you're here.
I do.
Where you meet Javier here in Spain?
So basically, I was working for Powell for one summer. I helped film a video, and Javi was a flow rider. He was on Powell like Europe. And we went to Generation 97, so I guess that was 1997. It was a big contest in London, and it was like I was with the Powell team, right? And then there's another, so that we're the Powell team, we're there, right? They're skating the contest, right? Dani got like second place or something, like it was like the whole crew. And then there was this one dude with a Powell board that nobody talked to, that nobody knew, that was ripping. And I was like, So wait, this is like Powell. Like
That's the one that
who's this dude?
clip, how you got that clip? Like,
No. This is way before.
Way before.
Oh,
Yeah,
way
this is
before.
way before.
I was thinking that.
No. This is way before.
Maybe
This is
that's
1987, right? So then I was like, who's this kid, dude? Like he's ripping. And then like somebody was like, yeah, that's like I don't know. He like writes for the distributor. He's not really on the team. He's not really on Powell. And I was like. I mean, that dude that's not really on Powell is like the best guy there. You know what I mean? He's actually like the best skater here. So I was like, fuck it. So like, I filmed a bunch some things with him that were in 4-in-1 in the 4-in-1 Europe video, and then he wrote for Stance. And the owner of Stance was friends with Francisco Burgos, was good friends with Lance from like the 80s. Wrote for Powell in the 80s, and so like just through whole that, I was like, dude, I want to film with this dude. Like this kid is really, really sick. And like fuck, he should be on Powell. Yeah. So then that's kind of how we first met. And then when I went back to Europe the next year, I skated with him, and Javi didn't speak any English, or he actually did. But he would pretend he didn't speak any English. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So he's kind of like he's super Javi. Yeah. Super Javi. But it's super funny because it's like I think we bonded over like hip hop and shit like that. You know what I mean? And like I said, I was a filmer, and he was like one of the best skaters I ever saw. So we started filming together and stuff. So long story short, like Javi was born in Barcelona, right? Yeah. And but he never came to Barcelona. And I was like, when I started coming, I was like, I would go up to Vitoria to skate with him. I'd be like, we should go to Barcelona. And he'd be like, no. I'd be like, nah, I'm not really into Barcelona. Like, I just want to skate here or whatever. And I was like, all right. And then there was a contest. There was a skate contest here in Barcelona in maybe 2000. We were So we had filmed some stuff in Vitoria for his Wheels of Fortune, and then it had done well, and Foreman was like, yeah, we'd like to have a part in the best of. We like, could you film a part? And I was like, yeah. So there's a Spoko contest in Plaza España. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a ticket to go to this contest, and like, so Javi, you have to come. Have to come to the contest, and after you come to the contest, we have to stay and try to film. And he wasn't against it, but he was kind of like, okay, cool, like whatever.
Yeah, but wait a minute. So you are the guy who brings Javier Sarmiento to Barcelona for first time? That's what I hear?
No, I mean, like I said, Javi was born in Barcelona, so
he was the first time. So
his mom and dad were the people who brought him to the Barcelona the first time. Yeah. No, but so. Yeah, it was like I was like, fuck, dude, like we'll get a hotel, like we'll stay longer. He brought his girl from Vitoria, so like she came, and like we just like he would chill with his girl every night, and we would just skate and film during the day. And so that was like a maybe. So when he was talking in his interview like a little while ago, and he was like the first time we went to Macba. Like nobody really skated there. So even that trip, that trip, we didn't skate in Macba at all. Like we filmed at like Parallel, Sans, Uni, a bunch of spots, but we didn't skate at Macba. We didn't film at Macba. It was only till like later after that. I was like, we have to go to Spain. We have to go to Barcelona to film. So I was working on the firm video. And there was the same thing. There was another contest, and a bunch of people went, and so I brought the whole firm team, and then like Danny Wainwright came, Javi came. He was riding for Powell. He didn't ride for the firm yet. A bunch of other homies, and we're gonna do the contest and do the same. Stay 2 weeks and have like a filming trip, and then that's when we really first started skating Macba. And then prior to that, like there was a S trip for Menikmati, and like TX and like Kerry Getz and like a bunch of guys had come. So, people they skated Macba like around that time too. So.
Promo for a Spanish board brand.
Nomad.
Filmer shaper, and it's like the graphic is like a.
Lance Mountain did the graphic. Yeah. Well, crazy, so I mean, it's a really simple story. So I always skated Raul. Like that was my homie. That's still my homie. That's my dude. So one day we went to skate, and Raul had a little cruiser board. And I'm like, that shape is dope, man. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna make a cruiser. I was like, oh, dude, let me get one. I want one. He's like, you want one? Mm-hmm. He's like, I was gonna talk to you because I want to give you one. And I was like, yeah, man, like I want one, like you know, like give me one, dame uno, you know. But I think he thought what he was thinking he wanted to give me a pro model.
Yeah.
But I thought I was like when I said I want one, I meant I want one, like yeah, just one, like one board, right? And then he got super hyped. He's like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna talk to Ivan and we're gonna hit you up and like you know all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, sounds good. It sounds like a lot of like work to you know ask the owner of the company so he can have one board. And then I understood like they're like, would you want to do like a graphic? And I was like, yeah, man, for sure. Like you know, I mean, like Luipa skated for Nomad, you know, fucking like you know Julio skated for Nomad. You know, like the team was like the best skaters you know from here. And there were, I mean, dude, we went to Santos and it was like a Nomad crew, and you know, I was down, you know. And then so I asked Lance, I was like, yeah, you know, like my homies want to give me a board, and like, would you be down to do a graphic? And he's like, yeah, man, like, you know, we were really close, and he's like, yeah, like, you know, what do you want? And I was like, dude, I want to have like Barcelona, I want to have the Yankees versus FC Barcelona. I want to have like a fucking graphic, like the Yankees versus Barcelona, like baseball versus football, like, you know, I had this whole idea, like, you know what I mean, like Barca versus New York, you know what I mean? I'm from New York or whatever. And then Lance was just like, okay. You know, like whatever. And then the next day he's like, well, I know we talked about this, you know, like football versus baseball, Barca, New York graphic, but he's like, but I drew this, like, you know, like whatever. And he drew an ant, like my name's Anthony, so he drew an ant, like a formiga, you know, carrying a camera and a skateboard, like with Barcelona backdrop. And it was like, it was super Lance and it was super like his shit. And I was like, yeah, this is completely not what I was thinking, but I'm down. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck it, yeah. And then Ivan was actually super hyped, I think too, you know, because I mean, who wouldn't be? Yeah.
No idea about that.
And then again, I mean, like to me, that's like, you know, like this, like Lance, like he drew like a cartoon for me, which means a lot more. And then, I mean, I still love the Yankees. I mean, it's the best team. You know what I mean? And I love Barca. So I mean, I would love, maybe one day I'll have that graphic. One day, I don't know.
You still keep one?
Yeah. I have a few. Yeah. The only thing is I regret Lance, because I was like, Lance didn't like have his signature on the graphic. You know what I mean? Which is like normal. I mean, when you do a graphic, you don't always sign it, but it would be cool to have, you know, whatever. Yeah,
for sure. For sure, it's like a lot of difference between the 98 Barcelona or, I don't know, 98 or 2001, 2002, whatever, like back in the days and now.
What are the differences?
Yeah, for you, like
the peseta?
The biggest one.
Now there's a euro.
Like about being like, I don't know, sports, people, party.
I don't know, like, so this is a really weird time, obviously COVID.
Yeah.
10 o'clock, you have to be home. No restaurants you can't eat in the restaurants and stuff. You have to wear a mask and all that stuff. So yeah, that's really weird. I mean, you know, like, I'll contrast that with like, I mean, I remember coming here with like, so Javi and like TX and Javi were like the dudes that I would come with and film a lot, you know, like we'd post up for like a month. But you know how it was, like those dudes would like, they would party every night, you know what I mean? They would come home at 6 or 7. You know, I'd wake up, you know, I don't drink, you know, so I'd be home by midnight or whatever. You know, I'd wake up at like, I don't know, 11. You know, like by 12, I mean, I go to the beach or something by 12, 1 o'clock. Okay, I'm like, you know, calling them, messaging them. At 2 or 3, I'm going to them, like knocking on the door. At 4, I'm trying to get them out. At 5, we go get some food. At 6, we start skating. At 7, we start filming. At 8, it gets dark. So then you're like, you know, it was fucked, you know, and then it started again. You know what I mean? And then so, you know, it's like, you know, it was tough. So, you know, like, I mean, TX filmed a video part with an hour of light every day. You know what I mean? So I don't recommend it. You know, I wouldn't recommend it, but he can do it, and he's like maybe one of the best. And Javi too. Like, you know, the thing is, you don't film with Javi. You just turn the camera on, and you gotta just be ready. Like, so, you know, so
it
that
happens with Javi. It happens.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So there'd actually be kind of like sessions. There'd be actually there'd be shifts. So there'd be dudes like somebody like maybe Montoya who'd be like, you know, kind of wake up early, want someone to do something. So like I'd go and maybe even go film at like noon or like 1 with one crew, whatever, and then I'd go and meet up with Javi and TX like at 4 or 5 or 6. You know what I mean? So it'd be like different things. So they'd be like, you know, some kid from fucking Germany who wants to jump down some fucking crazy rail, and then, you know, obviously Javi and TX want to skate like maybe ledges or something like that. So it'd be really cool. I mean, it'd be an interesting experience. So I would actually be in a whole bunch of different circles. You know what I mean? Like, so people from filming for one video, a completely different team brand filming for another video, even different spots and different things.
You're missing any spots from back in the days now?
Yeah, I mean, I miss all kinds of spots. I miss the keyhole at Macba, actually.
The old parallel.
Yeah, I miss the old parallel.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I saw that they post like floor clips from back in the days and same shit like now.
It was crazy. Like, I mean, I met Flo at Parallel the other day. We went and he started doing like a 360. He did a bunch of tricks. He did like 10 manual tricks, but he's trying to do. Was starting to do 360 flip nose manny and then something out. And I didn't even say anything to him, but I was tripping because I was like, we've filmed like 20 tricks at Parallel, you know, like over the years. Yeah. And I remember he did like a tray flip nose manny, like frontside 180 out. And he did like, you know, a very similar trick, and to me that was really funny because it was like 16, 17 years later, you know, he hasn't missed a beat. In fact, maybe he's gotten better, you know what I mean? And so it's like a really kind of cool, like, yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a supermarket with like a hubba into a metal rail that was like insane.
Zona Franca thing?
Yeah. You know, like Alex Castaneda switch 50'd it. It was insane, and then 4-1 lost the tape. So there's like things like that you can't go back to do the switch 50 or fucking 20 stair hubba. You know, I don't know. I miss Sans actually the most because it's like insane. It's like one table and a fucking DIY, and I'm not gonna take away from it. Like, it's cool people skate there or whatever. But if you knew Sans, that was the best. That was the first before Macba. It was Sans, and there was a crew. You came out of the train, and they're there, and people were gripping and like most amazing skaters. Like, to me, it was the essence of Barcelona. There's a photo of like Cab skating skating Sans in like the 80s. Doing the board flags. So I miss Sans the most. You know, like
me too. First body being first time Barcelona with Sans, like skating. Yeah,
and I just don't. I mean, even like behind Sans, you know, there was like there was tons of shit.
Remember that
you know,
What's the best trick for you? I don't mean like have to be the best trick, but the best trip for you ever filmed here in Barcelona? So like, I mean,
I came for one of the contests, and it was Arto's first time in Barcelona, and Arto was like on fire. He was filming for the flip video, and he just fucked everything up, man. And like, I mean, he fakie flip and switch flip the four,
all black,
you know, like that was
people like say like. Best
fakie flip
ever. Yeah. Like, still it is.
Well, okay, so the crazy thing about that is that we skated the whole city one day. It was like super, super gnarly, like skated all these spots, and then skated the 4, and then it was like, we were done. Like, it was the end of the day, it was already night, and we're like, oh, let's go eat. So the whole, like 10 people, the whole crew, we went to a Chinese restaurant near Uni. We ate, and then, it's like 10 people, you eat, whatever, fucking done. We finished, it's like 11 o'clock, everyone's done, right? Like fucking done. And so we're going back to the hotel, but then I wanted to show Arto the street gap at Catalunya, and I was like, let's go this way. It's out of the way, but I was like, let's go check it out. So just so you can see it, and I was like, I want to show you this. This would be good. And then he's like, fuck, I want to skate it right now. And I was like, this is fucked. Like, where everyone is super like dead tired.
After like 20 or something?
Yeah, no, he was younger than that.
He was
younger.
Yeah,
maybe he was like 18 or something. And so, dude, he battled a backside flip for a little bit, but he backside flipped it, and then everyone was like, damn, that's fucking nuts. And then he's like, oh, I got something else. I want to try something else. And then he switched backside flipped it like in maybe 3 tries or 4 tries, super fast, like. And like, but to me that was like one of the best tricks because he had done a bunch of shit that day, and we were like kind of like done and had a big meal. And
you remember that spot too? Like was like
the gap into the bank.
To the bank.
Yeah. That, I mean, he did like nollie flip and fakie flip. Yeah.
You know, I feel like was Flip have a house like near here. Yeah, there was like all the guys around here.
Well, so that was after that trip. So after that trip is when people were like, all those guys were like, fuck, we have to go to Barcelona, we have to do this, like we have to, you know, be here more and everything. So it was cool, man. Yeah, that was like the genesis.
Party was like a lot of bar spot. Like,
I mean, maybe prior to that, there was more Finnish girls in Barcelona than there were like Finnish dudes, like skaters. And then after that, it shifted.
So Anthony, so thank you so much for
thank you, man.
Us,
thank you.
Like,
thank you, Pedro, for the pizza.
Pizza for us. So thank you so much.
Hope to see you more all the time.
Un brazo.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. A pleasure.
Okay.
So this was Pizza Nights.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you next one. We'll be out soon.
Check it out.
Okay.
That's it, right?